All right, so welcome to this workshop. This workshop organized by WTC Rennes Bretagne with our partner from Source of Asia. So Cha, who is present today with a delegation of Vietnamese companies specialized in ready-built factories. So today we have your sales manager at BW Industrial Development, and we have V Chan, sales manager also at BW Industrial Development GSC. So this workshop is organized in partner with our partners also at the Banque Populaire Grand Ouest. We have the réseau Globallians, which is a network that the BPCE group works with to help out companies who are and developing a presence on various markets around the world. Let me let some people in. Multitasking at the same time. And we have also, as partners, the SPAS. Delegation will be at SPAS tomorrow. So if you are at SPAS, feel free to message me, and we'll make sure to have a moment to discuss more opportunities. If it's possible, those in online to shut the mics. Thank you. And otherwise, we have the company FER MET ALU, represented today by Anne Pascal, who is present, who is the General Director of FER MET ALU. Julien will join us also in 5 minutes also, and we'll be visiting your company with our Vietnamese friends in the afternoon. Let's try that. On. Let's see. There we go. All right. Other than that, Source of Asia is accelerates companies in their international development for specifically for companies interested in the ASEAN area, but you're based in Vietnam.
Yeah.
In Ho Chi Minh City, and just for your info, our dear Clarisse, who is here today, in her last week, so she has been an apprentice for us, spent a year in Vietnam, and is very happy to conclude her internship, her apprenticeship with us here at WTC and with you. So the objective of this workshop is to present the Vietnamese market, the strategy China +1. Yeah. And the outsourcing, industrial outsourcing, and the opportunities available in Vietnam. Cha will present various industrial infrastructures that are available in the country, and it will be pretty much giving you all the information about how Vietnam is ready for your industrial development. We will also have testimonials from the delegation present and from the company FER MET ALU. What we're interested in also here at the WTC is to share information. This is a dialogue. And we're also interested in knowing about how to enter the Vietnamese markets, cross-cultural competencies, and that kind of stuff. Knowing how Vietnamese people do business. So just a few words on WTC Rennes Bretagne. So we're a club here at the Chamber of Commerce, but we're also part of a global network of 320 WTCs in 92 countries, which represents 750,000 companies interconnected. The WTCs offer throughout the world meeting spaces and all kinds of in offices and all kinds of other trade services that you might need when going abroad. Locally, we offer lots of different opportunities to develop tight links between companies here in Brittany, here in Rennes, here in Brittany, but also throughout the world. At WTC Rennes Bretagne, members, which are companies, some members are schools. We have schools, a school here today, Rennes 2. Thank you for being here. Infrastructures also, that are infrastructures, airports, ports here in the area. So all these members exchange their experiences, give testimonials, and try to use all these testimonials and these best practices to soft land or to export in such and such countries. So we organize about between 30 and 40 events per year, which represents about 1,000 participants, whether here in person or online. So today I'm delighted to welcome you all. I think we started talking about this workshop about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
I think, and we used the space also as an opportunity. Our vibrant and dynamic economy. Thank you very much. I will have Cha introduce herself, but before that, I'd like to have our friends from the BPGO here today to give a few words on who they are. And this is an exercise for Philippe.
Yeah, I think I will say it in French.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe
It's really up to you.
We'll do it in French. There is no problem because people listen and also speaking French. So voilà, je fais quelques mots rapides d'introduction pour présenter le partenariat Banque Populaire Grand Ouest. En fait, on est un groupe et une banque qui se veut très présente à l'international. On a vocation à accompagner les PME et les entreprises régionales dans leurs projets de développement. Donc voilà, on est très présent à l'international. Donc on a un partenariat, je me tourne vers Nicolas, avec le WTC de Rennes, entre autres. Mais effectivement, et on est partenaire sur ce type d'atelier, en fait, qui a vocation vraiment à faciliter les opérations à l'international. Et puis, on est partenaire également d'un réseau qui est un appui très, très fort et un vrai plus de la Banque Populaire, avec le réseau Globallians, qui est un réseau international de cabinets internationaux, donc sur Sophasia, donc représenté par Tia aujourd'hui. Et donc, un partenariat qui est destiné à faire à la fois du développement commercial, c'est-à-dire trouver des bons interlocuteurs, les bonnes portes d'entrée dans la plupart des pays du monde. Et on travaille avec Tia et des équipes qui sont notamment au Vietnam, c'est des sujets de développement commercial et aussi très largement des sujets de sourcing, trouver des bons partenaires, des bons fournisseurs au Vietnam, en Asie, en Chine ou ailleurs, en tout cas. Voilà, donc on est content d'être présent avec vous pour cette manifestation. Puis donc je vais laisser la parole à Tia pour se présenter, et puis tout de suite rentrer dans le vif du sujet sur les opportunités offertes par le Vietnam.
Yes, I will continue in English. Yeah, I prefer in French, but I make some effort too. So my name is Chia. I come from South Asia. I'm very happy to be here today. In this weekend, and now we are here in Rennes, and I think it's very a great opportunity for us to meet you. And basically, I'm based in Ho Chi Minh City, and I think I have a chance to be in Ho Chi Minh City, one of the cities the most, how to say, dynamic in Vietnam. And very happy to see all of you today. I think you come here because maybe you have an interest in Vietnam, a question about Vietnam, and if not, I hope that I can bring something new about Vietnam to you. So basically, as Nicolas has said, the objective today is not to give a formal presentation, but more about the dialogue, the interaction that we can have with the Q&A that you can have, and I think it's more important. So yeah, so Sophia, and I come here today with Ms. Duyên and Ms. B from BW. Why? Because actually, Sophia, we are a business accelerator in Ho Chi Minh City. Our founder are French, so naturally we have like a business network with French, with a lot of company, organization, federation, in France. So we can have here WTC, Globallians, Banque Populaire. So that's why, thanks to you, that we can have this workshop together, because we alone in Ho Chi Minh City, we cannot hope to organize something in Rennes like this. And thanks to our partner, our network, that can make it done. So basically, today's, I think we are right now in the right moment to talk about how Vietnam and the Asian region have become a very promising destination for people who are looking for how to develop their business overseas. And also we have talked a lot about the China Plus One, which is the the trend and also the needs for manufacturing company to move the production line out of China, because we have a lot of reasons that we will discover later. So yeah, very quickly, source of Asia. I'm in charge of market expansion department at source of Asia. So basically, we are, our mission is to connect the right partner from overseas into Vietnam. So basically, when you have a project to come to Vietnam, whether you would like to produce your product, to sell your product, or to represent your business activities in Vietnam, we are here to support you. So basically, we have market expansion is all about how to develop your business in Vietnam. Sourcing and supply chain is how to find the right, the right supplier for your product. I mean that can be like a spare part or the finished product in Vietnam, so we can find the right supplier for you. Corporate service is more about how to set up your company in Vietnam. We understand that the company, when it comes to Vietnam, they may not have the legal company yet, and we, Source of Asia, can help you to find the right staffing and to set up your local entity in Vietnam before you entering the country properly. And M&A services is more about, we know that a lot of companies now looking for set up a business in Vietnam, but not from scratch, because it take a lot of time and effort. So basically, if someone are interested in buying out a company in Vietnam to continue and to develop the activity, we are also in this kind of services for you. Very quickly, yeah. Thank you. So very quickly also, as Nicola and Philippe have said, we are part of the network. And again, thanks to our network, that we can spread our word, our services to you, because we cannot do it alone in Vietnam, in our corner. But in terms of business development, we rely and we work a lot with the partners like you. So we are in Vietnam for more than 20 years now. And also, as mentioned before, we are here with BW Industrial. Why them to join us in this kind of promotion campaign to Vietnam? Because we know that in the move for the companies to move their production in Vietnam, they will need a local partner to support them in how to find the right factory, how to set up the manufacturing line, etc. So that's why our partner here will come up later in the presentation to give you some more information about this. So yeah, we can start with the fact that since 2017, we have started to see that maybe we have some issue in kinds of doing business in Asia, etc. And we have the COVID that comes very suddenly, and post-COVID we have a lot of issue regarding the transportation, the logistic, and also now we are in a very unbelievable world, physical world. So a lot of things that have changed a lot in the way that we do business normally, and it have a big effect in the supply chains. And when you this factor something that you need to take into consideration when you choose a partner, a supplier, or to decide where in which country you will operate or produce in, and all this factor. Not to mention also that most of the time you will need to have the local partner, because it's very complicated to manage this in distance. So yeah, when a lot of company, the big company, have proven that they have think about how to not move out of China, because I think China still remain a very strategic location for them, but how to diversify their production to not only depend only on China. And in this move, we can be very lucky to see that Vietnam become one of the most, how to say, promising destination in Asia. So a little bit about ASEAN. ASEAN is a how to say, a group of 10 countries that are based in Southeast Asia. And in this slide, you can have like a very the big line of the country.
I was taking a picture specifically with this slide in the background. It's an Asian workshop after all.
So basically, here is just a very short summarize of what industry can be found in Asia. So basically, if we look at this, how to say, this graphic, whatever the industry you are, basically you almost have something to do with Asia.
It's really interesting, actually. This.
Yeah.
We will share the presentation.
I will.
Yeah.
So just to come back,
Yeah.
So basically, we can have some kind of highlights sector, highlights industry in Asia, and also the new one. This one, like the, how to say, the telecom, petroleum. So more specifically, but yeah, in general, we have the main sector, the main industry that we sum up of the last years. If you have any question, don't hesitate to drop me, because I think it's more interesting than this.
I think our friends from FER MET ALU are looking at the Thailand one right now, also with the construction industry.
Yeah, so if we have a look a little bit closer into Vietnam, so I think no need for me to repeat what is saying here. You can move forward. So basically, Vietnam is part of the Asian country, as said, and we have a very how to say, strategic location, because we are below just borderline with China. We also have this kind of the coastal I would say west. East or west? East, sorry. And basically, to go to Laos or something like that, you need to go by Vietnam, because there's no access by sea to this country. We also have like a very big population, and it means that we have a lot of consumption power. Will come later, and also the class for middle class in Vietnam is ramping up a little bit significantly. It means that we have now a lot of luxury industry, very promising for them. And very interesting to see that Vietnam is one of the best country in terms of recovery after COVID. And in 2022, we have a very nice growth compared to the other country. This year, yeah, it's back to the normal. In this year, a lot of countries have zero or very little. We still keep a significant growth rate. And the growth rate here, actually, because we see that a lot of FDI international company come to Vietnam, so the government
Foreign direct investment, FDI.
yeah, foreign
EU.
direct FDI. So basically, the country, the government have decided to spend a lot in how to enhance the infrastructure in Vietnam. Can you see, please? Yeah. So basically, this is the main, how to say, the highlight, and you can see that we are not hesitate to putting our the investment to actually, because we know that a lot of things will come, and we need to anticipate how to answer to this move. Yeah, so Vietnam is more or less, and not just to say very often, compared to China. Why Vietnam now and not China? Because we used to work with China as well. Actually, I think the comparison is very hard to do, but we are confident to have like very positive side in Vietnam. For example, we can see that Vietnam, the labor force is still it should be wrong. We have the labor force is younger, more dynamic, and also with the literacy rate higher, and the labor force participation rate, you can see here, is more interesting than China. And it is more and more benefit for Vietnam, because with the growth rate age in China that will be older and older, I think they will have more and more difficulty in the future. And basically, when we compare the labor cost, manufacturing means Vietnam is we are just like half third compared to China. Yeah, I can send you the presentation after this. And more interesting, Vietnam is one of the countries who is the most open to the all kinds of free trade agreement. Since the 1919, the year when the country decided to open the border, we non-stop, how to say, work with a lot of kind of free trade agreement to favorite, and also to promote and to give more advantages for foreign companies to work with Vietnam. And I think the most important for us is and the most powerful EVFTA with the European, and RCEP with the region. So basically, with this kind of free trade agreement, you can be take benefits of a lot of things, such as the tax for import-export, for example.
We're thinking with the Conseil du Commerce Extérieur, which is another association that we host here at the WTC, the Brittany Committee, where we are going to do an EVFTA workshop in the next few weeks. So to explain exactly the ins and outs and of this agreement. So so you know, so yes, it's important to us also.
Important that the way that we agree, we come up with the agreement for the EVFTA is kind of painful, because like in Vietnam, it's Eurocham, the Chamber of Commerce European Vietnam, who manage this. And the very first initiation topic have been launched in like 2016, and then up to 2018, and then finally come up into effect in 2020. So a lot of steps, but finally we do it, and it shows that the government is very open and very eager to decide. And even for the PPT, I mean, with the Trans-Pacific, we are also in the good size compared to China, who have been like freezing with the Americans. So a lot of things show that Vietnam now is one of the very open country in terms of business, trade, and agreement.
Just why did you insist on Vietnam and Israel agreement? What is the difference with the EVFTA?
Which one?
Vietnam and Israel pointed out in this free trade agreement, which has been signed in 2023. Just wanted to understand, what the rationale behind but we VAT.
Cannot compare because each agreement will have like the point ones, and the most important is the origin of the production will be the most important for you to benefit or not for the import and export tax. But I cannot, I cannot compare which one is the most interesting.
That's the last one. Just the new one.
It's the latest one, yeah, Vietnam and Israel, that's why it's on that, it's on there. It's the latest one.
Yeah, we just mentioned to do it.
So.
We are in continuous discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so to sum up very quickly about the relationship between EU and ASEAN. So very quickly, you can see here that basically EU and Asia in general, we already have a long-term relationship in terms of business and trade flow. So how to say more about this? I think I put all the so yeah, the EU is the third largest investor in ASEAN, and also ASEAN represent the third largest trading partner for Europe since I don't have the year here. Yeah, you can see that the trend is moving and growing.
Yeah, FDI is very, very, very prominent.
So yeah, specifically the last slide is more about ASEAN, and now we talk about Vietnam. Vietnam is the 21st partner for EU in terms of export, and I know that we still have a lot of things to do in this way. However, EU is the largest trading partner in Vietnam, so a lot of products have been produced and exported into Vietnam so far. So basically, the EDFTA and also the EPA, Vietnam Investment Protection Agreement. This is the most important. The first one is to eliminate tariff, and the second one to protect also investors. So yeah,
When it's got about tariff, it means customs duty.
custom, yeah. So exactly, I think we can engage a lot of people coming, investing in the country, but also we need to have some law and regulation to protect them also, and not just to, yeah.
Another questions about tariff, it's definitely out, or it's reduced if we compare.
It's reduced. Basically, it should be like a barrier that will be decreasing during 7 years. So basically, from Europe to Vietnam, and also from Vietnam to Europe, but it depends on the industry. I cannot give you the details, but year by year they will decreasing to reach the 0% at the end of the period that agreement.
When it will be at 0?
I think basically technically it should be in 27.
Okay.
2027.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like a big list. I cannot have the.
Do you have a dedicated agreement with China also or not? About
It's
just a competition, actually.
It's a competition. Can we back to the slide just to see if we have something specifically with China or not? China.
Read
We
that,
have
yeah.
China. Yeah, China is part of the
Regional
Yeah,
comprehensive
yeah.
economic partnership.
But as you say, China plays solely in the corner. So because yeah, we can understand because China have been one of the most powerful. So there's no need for them to like associate with the other country. But now maybe the game is changing. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this one.
Oh, sorry, you wanted to?
No, I think it's we have all here. And the next slide will give you some idea of what kind of product and services that France to Vietnam and Vietnam back to France. So basically, I cannot understand why I put French here. I think it's that. It should be in the.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I mean, read this. Yeah. So you can understand.
So agricultural products and medical.
Yeah, from France to Vietnam, it's more about medical and like the FMCG product.
MSC, yeah.
FMCG, yeah,
MSC.
the prix de grande consommation.
De grande consommation.
The mass, yeah.
And,
And Vietnam start to export a lot of agricultural product into France. And even now I can see that in the like supermarket that you can see like corner, Asian corner, and a lot of products from Vietnam have been displayed.
Oh.
Je travaille avec plusieurs.
No, but I'm looking for Brittany specifically. I see animal feed, so France to Vietnam, dairy, and pharmaceutical is not as much of and chemical products are not as much popular here in the area, but in France, cosmetic is pretty popular.
Yeah.
And wood products, well,
We have dairy also.
dairy, yeah, is popular here.
We can see wood and wood product here in Vietnam, from France to Vietnam, and the same Vietnam from France to France. But basically, wood and wood product from I have a mistake. I will change it. It's more like a handcraft.
Handicraft.
Handicraft.
Okay.
And this one is more furniture. Yeah.
Furniture, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Interesting.
And for the animal food,
And it will fit, yeah.
it's milk powder, it's pet food, or it's about production.
It won't be export from France as the finished product, and can be like ingredients that we can mix up with the local ingredients.
I see Marine Aqua is actually on the line right now, and maybe they can also talk to us about what they've been doing with Vietnam in terms of agriculture. So if you hear us,
Sorry for the typo. I mean,
That's okay.
Yeah, just a little bit back to some data about how French and FDI from French to Vietnam. And basically in Ho Chi Minh City, officially in the register of the consular in Ho Chi Minh City, we have like 7,000 French register. But officieusement, I don't know how to do to say. And officially, it's about 10,000. So a lot of French in Ho Chi Minh, only in Ho Chi Minh City. Yeah, about the French company, we have this, but once again, it's official and not because we have like a French associate with the Vietnamese company, etc. But the investor French, for example. And this is very interesting to highlight that at the beginning, when the country have opened the border, it's more about the distribution, aeronautics, luxury have been the very first industry, but now it's more about information technology, healthcare, and sustainable green development, who are more and more requested. Yeah, so just to give you some idea of the potential and area where we can be like a partner and collaboration in the upcoming year. Vietnam now is very focused on the quality, efficiency, and technology related to environment. Sorry. So I think France is one of the the suppliers that can match a lot with this. Move. Yeah, we have discovered that a lot of flow from France have often go through the other country. So that's why the number that I gave you may be not the exact one. This is also something that we can reconsider for French company to how to better invest in Vietnam. And basically, yeah, Vietnam is now we have the need to improve our process for Vietnam first, and also so that's why French company can also enter to Vietnam with the services in R&D, like a bureau d'études, not only for French company to export back to France, but also for the Vietnamese needs in Vietnam. So now I can invite our partner in the real estate. I think in this move, like, and to answer how we can support you in moving your industrial, how to say, production line into Vietnam. So I would like to invite here Mr. Jun from BPGO that can give you some idea of the solution that.
So it's our pleasure to be here today to give you a short presentation about our company. So our company actually a joint venture between the Warburg Pincus with the American Equity Fund, 70% of the share in the company. So basically, our company is a FDI, foreign direct investment itself. And 30% of the share is BPGO, with the oldest and the largest industrial real estate developer in Vietnam. Why we have this like cooperation? Because with Warburg, because they already have experience to invest in industrial real estate in China, like with the ESR background as well. So basically, they build warehouse for like Amazon, Alibaba, like on the major industrial park in China. So they have the finance, they have the experience to build factory, to build warehouse. And when it comes to develop industrial park, you will need the local support from the authority, and BPGO is a state-owned company itself. So the company created in 2018. At that time, we is the trade war between the US and China, and then we see the strong wave from company from China move to Vietnam to avoid the tax. So today, 2023, so after 5 years, we already have more than 30 projects in Vietnam. Can I have the next slide? So the first thing about the key concern for when you're thinking about the moving to Vietnam. Sorry, this topic a little bit specific into the manufacturing thing. So normally the reason why I moved to Vietnam, labor cost, logistic cost, tax incentive, all a little thing like that come to the mind of the owner of the business at the first time when they think about the location where they can go beside China. Obviously, it will be the Southeast Asia. In Southeast Asia, you will have Thailand, Philippines, Malaysia, Vietnam, and then you will comparing on the cost to operate your business there. And this is on the cost that you must consider. So right here, beside the logistic cost, lately we heard the most is about the labor cost. So comparing to Malaysia and Philippines, the labor cost for the worker in Vietnam is still cheaper. And from what we heard from our client itself, the skill and the experience of the worker is a little bit easier to train. I'm not saying that the worker in Vietnam is more skillful than the Philippines or Thailand or something, but the thing is, to a rest worker takes 3 months to train them to become a skilled worker. And then this considered one of the factors that contribute to their decision to move to Vietnam as well.
As opposed to other countries.
Yes.
So labor cost, easier to train.
Yes.
And the logistics cost. Did you understand? So it's all these various
Very good.
aspects make it easier to work with Vietnam.
Yes.
Okay.
So this slide a lot of number, but basically, in Vietnam right now we have a lot of industrial park. This is the slide in like Ho Chi Minh City. This is on the southern province. This is northern province. And because the reason for this slide is that because have a lot of demand for the land to build factory in Vietnam, leading to the higher price for the land itself. So to compare the land, industrial land between the Vietnam, China, and then the nearby country, Vietnam not necessarily lower than those country, but the reason for that again, the government actually giving a lot of tax incentive for new established company in Vietnam. So that's why Vietnam become one of the very active, attractive location.
Mhm.
I can have the next one, please. It's probably the same information that we just mentioned about
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. We will move into this one. So this, I think this you can consider the main slide from our companies. In Vietnam right now, we have more than 800 hectares of industrial land. So you can see right here, this is Ho Chi Minh City. Right here, our company head office here. We also have office in Hanoi, within the capital. Near Ho Chi Minh City, we have some industrial province. So basically, they like capital of the manufacturing in Vietnam, especially like Bình Dương, and Đồng Nai, those areas right here. And in the north is focus more on the electronic guide in over here, up here, like Samsung, LG, Panasonic, VinFast. The thing is that before they only opened one small factory here, but now they're moving on the manufacturing to Vietnam. On the Samsung phone right now, making Vietnam. VinFast is considered the biggest manufacturing plant in the north of Vietnam, with a factory value more than $2 billion. And in the south, we also have very big company, like for example, like TTI, electronic manufacturing company, we see also BW Tenant. In the south, we focus more like garment, furniture, plastic, mechanic, so food processing as well. So it's very depend is where you're interested, where your supply, whether you want to like export back to EU, you want to sell back to Vietnam market, or so you will choose the location that's suitable for your own like company operation. So normally we have the seaport right here, and then the seaport up here. So right here you can go directly from here, go to the EU itself, and the port right here, Hải Phòng seaport also you go to EU, US, but it's nearby China. So basically the location that Vietnam given is the advantage of the logistics.
Sorry.
I think it's a little bit too detailed about the.
These are actually very, very good slides. I'm jealous on the quality of your slides compared to mine.
So this is has 4 basic products from BW. We have ready-built factories. So ready-built factory, basically the idea we build the facility there already with the legal paper already. And for you just to moving, we help you to create your entity in Vietnam and put your factory in operation, could be within 5 or 6 months. So comparing to the idea of acquire the land, build the factory, and
Have the
recruit the
license.
team,
Yeah.
it will take at least 2-3 years. I think like 3 years at least to actually on the land and build our factory. And currently, this is just some of the tenants from our RBF. RBW currently, RBW but easier than RBF. RBW ready build warehouse, so normally giving the space for on the e-commerce logistic companies, sourcing center. In Vietnam right now, on the biggest e-commerce company leasing from us, like Shopee, this guy would be very popular in Southeast Asia. And so we have like Nippon Express, DHL, on the big logistic company. They lease the warehouse from us as the distribution center, and from there they distribute across Vietnam. And we also have the M&A project. M&A project is that we buy back the industrial park itself, a part of it, and lease it. So this is just more like M&A deal to us. But right now we are also the landlord of Premium Global, which is the OEM for garment for Adidas and Under Armour. Yeah, Under Armour. So their factory around like 40,000 square meters.
What is exactly a build-to-suit facility? What is it?
Build-to-suit is a little bit more complicated than RBF, ready-built factory. Build-to-suit, so basically the house standard, but build-to-suit I measure based on your design, your spec of the factory.
Okay.
So why have build-to-suit? Because build-to-suit have the client don't need to deal with the hectic of the legal paper.
Okay.
To acquire the land. So basically we working to find the location, the land for your factory. We working to get your certificate, everything, and build the factory based on your standards.
So tailored to your needs. It takes a bit more time though than RBF, which pretty much what you were saying is that it takes about 3 to 4 years to get agreements, to sign products, get build factories. You can pretty much set shop in 6 months, 7 months. Okay.
So normally build-to-suit is for the very specific manufacturing require, like the certain height of the factory, like plastic, very high power capacity, or they have a lot of like container mold every day, like 20, like 40, like specific spec. And also they need a really big space. But right now, especially this year, most of the company we talking right now, they okay with the RBF option because they cannot wait longer. Yeah, they have the order to make.
We have huge land issues here in France, more and more. So that's we're hearing your message.
So this is just the list of on the project in Vietnam right now. Currently, I think we have more than 37 projects, and actually yesterday there's a round ranking of the biggest construction site in Vietnam from BPGO. We start to build 300,000 square meters in Bình Dương, a ready-built factory. So it's on over the news now for very big investment in Bình Dương province, Vietnam. About how to help you to set up a company or the factory in Vietnam. So whether you set up a manufacturing company or a trading company, you still need to go through the legal process. And before, normally the manufacturing, they only talking about export back to EU or export back to US or something. But now there's a chain of trading. So they want a trading and they want a manufacturing as well. For example, my newest client, he's from US, but he has a factory in China. He wants to set up the company that can manufacturing one product, export to US, but also buy something in China to Vietnam, from Vietnam, export to US. So trading and manufacturing is kind of like the new thing right now on the company.
But is there added value in Vietnam? Does your client want to also use the Vietnamese market to learn? That's okay. We should get some water. That's okay. Air conditioning, airplanes. Can we get some water, guys?
It's more about a question of optimize the tax, the tariff. Yeah.
Of course, but do companies also use because you were mentioning that in Vietnam, there's a growing also middle class population, so the population that could use also these products.
Sure.
So is it common to have, also companies that, use, sure, have a company in Vietnam, but also use the fact that the Vietnamese population is growing in terms of.
Yeah, and it's not about the question to export back your product, but also to serve the local market in Vietnam and in the region too.
In the Asian.
Yeah, and Vietnam can be like the hub for the distribution and business.
So.
We'll take over. We have a replacement. We have a replacement.
So your questions about the mix between the trading and the manufacturing, because we are industrial parks, so we allow you to do the manufacturing inside our facilities. Also allow you to do the trading one. So for the licensing, you can have both register for the trading one and the manufacturing. So basically, it's not have many differences between the manufacturing and the trading one. Despite that, you have the register things to do that. So as Mickey has shared, that this is a new trend now for some manufacturing. They not just selling their own products that they produce, but they also need to expand the income or the profits from the trading one. For trading their products from, and maybe this depends on the requirement of their new customers. Yeah. So it's a new trend now, and we found that 40 to 30 to 40% of our new clients now remain for the trading register in their licensing. And we also support you to do that kind of register.
Okay.
So as Ms. Yi has said, this is like a very specific steps for you to consider to establish manufacturing in another country. Yeah. So when we are not only infrastructure development who support you to have the facility there, the presence warehouse, the facilities at another countries, but we also support with value-add service from the beginning to your operations, not only from the location, finding the specification of the factories, also the licensing, and maybe we can consult on the investment step that you can consider, because you know that for when you operate the manufacturing in another country, you need to consider for firefighting protection, environmental protections, and we are together with you guys to support you through all the working steps until you can go into operation. Yeah, this is one of our biggest value-add service compared to the market now. We have a big options for you, also a big supporting for all the steps that you can consider. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is some of our biggest customers now, and it's mainly from electronics now. One of our biggest clients now, because the electronics markets now, we found that they are tending to move into tending to expand their operations now. So they choose Vietnam, especially VW for their destinations. Yeah, and also e-commerce. We are working with the top e-commerce developer in the South Asia regions, also furnitures and lots of supporting industry. Yeah. So we are having mostly our tenants that come from China, EU, US, US, and for the M&A projects, we are having a lot of Japanese and Korean
Japanese and Korean.
yeah, and so we are like experienced working with like through all the cultures of operations now. Yeah, so we can have the experience to consulting you through every kind of perspective.
And if you had an advice for an EU company wanting to get a factory in Vietnam, what would be your main pieces of advice?
Yeah, you can see that is product. This is the one in Poland. And that their size is around 9,000 square meters. They are doing screw, plastic screw, metal screw, and also like
Vis screws.
yeah, screw things. And they are like for EU company, they are like the main very strong and logic working process. So the procedures to register or to operate factories in Vietnam is just the same for all companies. So it's basing on the natures of mother company. We will like the main like extra documentary for them to review or some like bigger market research for them to can make the decision.
And as opposed to an American company or a Chinese company, what were the main challenges that the European company had as opposed to other?
The challenge for EU companies is they have a longer working process to make the decisions. Because you have to like have a insight of the market research first and come to the decisions. So we came together with you to gather all the information for you to support for your decisions. But as I have shared that the registration, the operations for one foreign investor in Vietnam will be the same. Yeah, will be the same. So it's not much differences. Yeah. Yeah, this is the reply from Miss Stratch. If we have any challenges.
Does anybody have questions for BW Industrial? Do you have any questions for now, or do we have questions online? Est-ce qu'on a des questions à distance pour nos amis chez BW Industrial et Solutions? Moi, j'ai pas l'impression. Not for now.
Yeah.
On a un micro qui s'est ouvert, hein, peut-être? Non?
Yeah, Samuel from Marine Aqua and Emerald Trade Finance. No questions at this stage for BW since we do not plan to formally establish to Vietnam, but just thanks, Nicolas, for your reference to Marine Aqua. Marine Aqua is a French company specialized in the development and distribution of probiotics, marine probiotics for aquaculture. And just a small parenthesis on aquaculture to tell you that Vietnam is the fourth market in aquaculture in terms of exportations, behind China, which is the first one, but in front of major agriculture markets such as Bangladesh, Norway, Chile, and Marine Aqua today does not distribute its products in Vietnam. We do not sell to Vietnam yet, but it's we definitely plan to work with Vietnam, definitely.
I think, Lola, you were mentioning that there's an aquaculture talk tomorrow at SPAS in English. Do you know what time it is at? Or?
I think if I remember, it's going to start at something like 10 a.m.
All right, so we should try to be there for that talk in aquaculture. In that case, so are you going to be there, Samuel?
Unfortunately, no. We did not plan. We did not plan to with Fanny to go to space, and we are not available for that at the beginning of this week. But just the task was just to highlight the importance of major role of Vietnam in aquaculture market, and it's a pleasure to hear you talking about Vietnam, and we will definitely have new contacts to Vietnam on the months to come.
We'll stay in touch anyways.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Samuel. All right, so moving back to the presentation, thank you for your testimonial. Very, very interesting. And I think that we all were very curious, and especially as I was saying in France right now, there's some different, how can I put it? I don't know, land talks. So, you know, hearing that there's so many hectares, acres of land available, hearing that there's these ready-built factories and different solutions is very interesting for French companies. Thank you very much.
So let us stay.
Yeah, I can move over. So we have talked a lot about Vietnam and the good things and the why come to Vietnam, etc. I am not here to sell the country like the most beautiful, wonderful country. I think there's some challenge also to set that in Southeast Asia and also Vietnam. So yeah, because you have like work in the European way. Just back to this. So maybe the process and the way to manage your company in the country is a little bit different. So just to keep in mind that it's not the same thing that you can apply. We also have the human resource, which is how to say, we have the very good labor force skills, etc. But the way we manage them, we find them and keep them, because the how to say, the market is very dynamic. So basically, people can leave a company to another company very quickly.
Very fluid.
Because we have a lot of work to do. So that's why finding the right human resource, keep them with you, is also a big challenge. So yeah, I just to put you on this factor here, just to keep in mind that it's not easy. Basically, it's also a company have, unfortunately, we have kind of corruption. We cannot deny it. Still depending on China for the raw materials. That's why a lot of international company will come to us to ask for quotation, and they complain because why Vietnam cannot answer to a quotation within like 24 hours like China. But because we cannot, because we don't have the raw material available for you for us to the quote. So that's why sometimes we drop this. We need to see this business grow gone because we cannot answer to the right. But actually, if you come to you already work with China and you expect exactly the same in Vietnam, sometimes we cannot, because we still have some independence to something that we cannot control. Stable, and I think it's more about the financial structure and system in Vietnam is not yet the same as we can expect in Europe, etc. So sometimes we can see how I can do it, because international companies sometimes have the standard. The standard that they apply for every country, and when it comes to Vietnam, and unfortunately it's not the same level, so that's why it can drop. So yeah, just to give you some idea that la vie n'est pas rose, but how to say, we need to be very mind, and the most importantly, to have the local partner, because we are here, we are in the country, we know how to manage and to, how to say, we cannot answer and solve every problem, but we can anticipate it, and like with the experience we have accompanied with the other country, the company, we can sometimes have to say that, hey, this kind of problem, we may have some challenge in the coming month, etc. So to give the idea and the advice. So that's why the local partner is very important for you. So in marketing, we have the 4P. At Sosafeda, we have the 5P. So yeah, just to give you the keyword I understand that the project to go internationally is a big project, a very important project. So as long as you take it carefully, you are in good hands with a local partner, the good service provider. I mean, our mission is to give you the idea, the option that can fit you the most, but the decision comes from you. And our advice is more about, if you would like to look for this, we may have the other option that can fit you the most, and not like you need to use this, this is just our recommendation, that the decision and your needs is yours. And yeah, so we continue a lot in this company, in this promotion program campaign that go, because we are now talking about Vietnam, talking about Southeast Asia. South Asia operates in Vietnam. We also can be your partner in ASEAN too. So don't hesitate to have a look at we like this. This is the version from last year. We do this to give you the idea, the main idea, the main highlight of the country. The new version this year is coming soon, so I will be happy to share it with you. So this kind of small, flyer, booklet for you to have the very first and quick information about the country, etc. And yeah, in this kind of promotion, we are willing and very happy to work with partners to how to spread the word about Vietnam. We can do the the webinar with you. We can do the B2B meeting. We can be here physically to meet you in person. So yeah, but beforehand, we need to understand and to know you better and to serve you in this in what you are looking for. Thank you. Thank you.
English, French, français? Français.
Français.
Pas de souci.
Bon. Merci, Cher. En breton, pourquoi pas. On va. Alors, je vais arrêter le partage d'écran. On va passer la parole à un petit fond d'écran. Je ne sais pas si je n'ai pas de fond d'écran en Vietnam, malheureusement. Donc, la parole à Julien. Julien, ça fait un moment qu'on se connaît.
Oui, oui.
Ça fait un moment que FER MET ALU est membre du WTC. Et c'est vrai que depuis que tu as commencé à te développer à l'international, finalement.
2018.
Ouais, c'est ça. On a fait beaucoup de choses sur le Québec et le Canada ensemble. Un peu de Vietnam, et puis le Covid est arrivé et on a tout mis. On avait une grosse conférence de prévu, je m'en souviens, c'était mois de mars 2020.
Ouais.
Et puis j'appelle Julien et je lui dis, un truc comme ça, jour du confinement. Et 2 semaines avant, je t'appelais et je t'ai dit, est-ce qu'on maintient? Et tu me dis, bah oui, on maintient. Malheureusement, on a été annulé. Et donc ça fait.
Dans les 5 P, j'ai pas la prudence.
La prudence. Et donc, en tout cas, je suis ravi de t'avoir parmi nous sur le sujet plutôt Vietnam.
Ouais.
Et puis, tu vas pouvoir nous parler un peu des projets.
Déjà, je vais refaire un petit récap du groupe.
Ouais.
Je peux présenter Pascal aussi.
D'accord. Et Attractive Metal. Et puis.
Ouais, et puis Vietnam.
Ok.
Donc, bonjour à tous. Julien Homo, je suis le dirigeant et propriétaire du groupe FH Metal. C'est un groupe de transformation du métal, destination de la construction. Donc, dans le groupe, on a la société FER MET ALU, qui est représentée ici. Anne-Pascal est en charge du développement des affaires internationales et aussi de maintenir nos positions auxquelles on est déjà en place. Donc, FH Metal, c'est principalement dans l'Ouest, à Paris. Après, sur la partie internationale, à proximité, on a une représentation à Monaco, où on a déjà des gros ouvrages, dont le stade de basket, une tour, on est en train de réaliser. À l'international, on est aussi au Canada, à Montréal. Je vous expliquerai après l'intérêt. En Asie du Sud-Est, on a un partenaire qui est à Ho Chi Minh et auquel on fait des affaires. Et les premières affaires qu'on a réalisées, c'est à Bangkok, pour une grosse villa. Et là, on est en discussion un peu plus poussée là, pour l'Afrique de l'Ouest, avec Abidjan, des affaires. Voilà pour les grandes lignes. Après, juste à l'essentiel, notre aventure à l'international, ça se tourne autour du savoir-faire français. On est en capacité d'exporter, c'est ce qu'on fait en Asie du Sud-Est, mais aussi plus sur l'innovation, c'est-à-dire de créer des alliances comme au Québec-Canada, là, où on a une alliance et on fait, c'est plutôt de l'innovation qu'on va importer en France. Voilà. Pour la présentation sommaire. Et donc, pour la partie, le retour d'expérience, parce que du coup, Nicolas m'a sollicité plus pour un retour d'expérience sur le Vietnam, l'Asie du Sud-Est. Donc, aujourd'hui, nous, les affaires, le temps est plus long en termes de temporalité d'affaires. On avait commencé les premières études via notre partenaire qui est à Ho Chi Minh. On avait une étude qui était à Manille, une autre à Bangkok. Donc on s'est vraiment focus sur Bangkok. Ça a mis un an avant d'aboutir, avant de contracter le contrat, de signer tout ça. Et après, sur les flux, notre client avec qui on a contracté a géré tous les flux logistiques, tout le shipping, il a tout géré. C'est un avantage et aussi un inconvénient, parce que dans notre vision, dans la vision qu'on en avait de l'export sur l'Asie du Sud-Est, on souhaitait faire passer les matériaux par notre partenaire qui est à Ho Chi Minh. L'idée, c'était c'était en 2020, ça, c'était l'accord venait de se signer entre le Vietnam et l'Europe. Et le souhait, la vision, c'était de se dire, bah, on fabrique une partie de nos matériaux en France, le savoir-faire, l'ingénierie, on l'exporte, on termine l'ouvrage dans les ateliers au Vietnam, et après on diffuse sur la zone Asie. Du coup, ça n'a pas fonctionné comme ça. Voilà, ça c'est pour le retour d'expérience. Après, on a eu aussi un deuxième retour d'expérience, mais là c'est plus Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam. On a dans le groupe, on a un parcours de formation qui s'appelle Attractive Metal, où on fait des échanges internationaux. Ça a bien fonctionné France-Canada, et donc pas Canada vers France, parce qu'il n'y avait pas beaucoup de Français voulaient aller vers le Canada. Et après, Vietnam-France, on a pas beaucoup de Français qui étaient intéressés pour le Vietnam, et on avait des Vietnamiens qui étaient intéressés pour venir en France. On s'est confronté, là pour le coup, même si le Vietnam fait partie de la francophonie, aussi à des difficultés linguistiques pour accueillir en France. Et on s'est aussi confronté au niveau de formation dans nos métiers. Au Vietnam, il n'y avait pas forcément d'école de formation. Donc on n'a pas été en mesure, à l'heure où on parle, d'accueillir correctement les jeunes vietnamiens, que ce soit en Bretagne, dans nos ateliers, quoi. Et il y a aussi un élément important, les échanges internationaux, je terminerai après, parce que l'important c'est les affaires, mais l'humain, sans part des affaires. France-Canada, on a à peu près le même niveau de rémunération, même niveau de temps de travail. C'est-à-dire qu'au Canada, on est 40 heures, ici on c'est 40 heures. France-Vietnam, on a un écart. Le temps de travail moyen là-bas, c'est plutôt entre 48 et 50 heures. Et le niveau de rémunération, c'est beaucoup plus bas. Donc, l'idée, c'est comment on fait venir un jeune Vietnamien avec nos règles françaises, où il va gagner peut-être la marge, c'est à peu près 5 fois plus ici, même si on est en cadre de formation. Et après, est-ce qu'il va pouvoir repartir? La notion économique était particulière pour la formation. Mais du coup, voilà, c'est les contraintes. Et là, aujourd'hui, dans les affaires, le développement des affaires sur la partie vietnamienne, là, aujourd'hui, notre partenaire, j'étais en visio avec lui ce matin, a priori, un léger ralentissement de l'immobilier sur la partie juste sud. Et les designers et architectes, comme on fait du savoir-faire français, on est sur un marché qui est positionné pour les designers et les architectes, et on se confronte au fait qu'on n'a pas de concurrence. On a une offre qui n'est pas concurrencée. Donc c'est les designers américains, ou pour le coup français, qui nous emmènent, qui sont en capacité d'expliquer le produit. On en est aujourd'hui. Donc là, on est un peu embarrassé sur le développement des affaires.
Ce qui est intéressant avec juste pour revenir à la formation, avec les programmes, c'est que Julien a exploré la solution VIE. Parce qu'il faut savoir que le VIE, c'est pas réservé au bac+5.
Ah oui, on a fait le premier VIE industriel.
Voilà. Non, mais c'est quelque chose d'intéressant parce que c'est vrai, on se doit de parler VIE. Bien sûr, Trade Center, CCI, Business France, CCE, etc. Donc, si vous voulez plus d'informations, on est connecté, que ce soit avec Business France ou avec les conseils du commerce extérieur. Mais très souvent, on a voulu pousser cette idée qu'effectivement, le VIE, c'est pas que du commercial, c'est pas que du marketing, c'est pas que de la Rennes School of Business ou du master à Rennes, Rennes 1, et là, je veux dire Rennes 2, bien entendu, les gens de Rennes 2, ou autre école. C'est que c'est aussi justement pour des personnes avec une compétence. C'est le bac, je crois, tout simplement. Il faut juste avoir moins de 28 ans et le bac. Et justement, tu as envoyé ton...
Ouais. Après, le premier jeune qu'on a envoyé au Québec, notre partenaire est toujours les territoires, que ce soit au Vietnam comme en Amérique du Nord. Les territoires sont divers. Il a été au nord du Québec, c'est au Saguenay, ça se nomme. Il ne s'est pas habitué. Ben oui, c'est le nord.
C'est en même temps canadien. Il est en voiture de Vienne.
Canadien, c'est pas mignon.
Après,
Oui, mais la solide.
c'était. Ouais.
Mais la question de VIE, je pense que c'est une notion très, très intéressante pour beaucoup d'entreprises françaises. Néanmoins, je pense qu'il est, comme vous le dites, c'est la solitude. Et effectivement, il faut que ce VIE-là se trouve dans un environnement français dans lequel il se retourne entouré par d'autres entreprises aussi. De un, parce qu'il y a d'autres jeunes qui facilitent aussi l'intégration au pays, mais aussi, si nécessaire, il faut peut-être dans un premier temps avoir quelques soutiens, accompagnement d'une entreprise locale aussi, parce qu'effectivement, un pays français qui arrive au Vietnam, qui ne parle pas français, qui ne sait pas dans quel environnement avec qui il va travailler, il va se perdre. Et effectivement, parce qu'en fait, chez soi aussi, on a des gens, soit VIE, soit aussi représentants commerciaux. Parfois, les entreprises françaises choisissent de trouver une personne vietnamienne parce que c'est très technique, c'est très... parce que voilà, il y a un peu de tout. La personne française peut venir avec l'expérience, avec l'expertise, etc. Mais sur le terrain, il se perd. Et dans ce cas-là, il faut peut-être avoir un accompagnement d'une entreprise française, locale, parce que voilà, malheureusement, c'est vrai qu'au Vietnam maintenant, même si tout le monde se parle en français, c'est beaucoup moins, mais les premières introductions se font en vietnamien parce que c'est la porte d'entrée. Et du coup, sans avoir un accompagnement de quelqu'un local qui ouvre la porte et quitte à les laisser une fois rentrés dans les affaires, mais au moins avoir l'introduction, l'accompagnement des premiers pas, c'est très important. Je pense que c'est un choix et aussi une stratégie à prendre. Et c'est pas que pour dire on te met, c'est à toi de te débrouiller pendant 2 ans. Parce qu'effectivement, il y a pas mal de cas qui n'ont pas le succès.
Pour le parti premier retour d'expérience. Et pour la partie Vietnam, aujourd'hui, dans le... Non, pour la partie Vietnam, aujourd'hui, là, on est plutôt dans l'esprit de dire comment on maintient notre position au Vietnam et comment on recrée des alliances. Aujourd'hui, on a fait des tests et oui, l'idée, c'est de voir comment on peut soit avec des designers, soit avec des architectes, pour en fait avoir accès à ces appels d'offres.
Oui.
Accès à ces appels d'offres. Et mon partenaire là, qui est là même, Sébastien, qui m'expliquait que.
C'est Sébastien Sisson.
Ouais, c'est quoi? C'est un petit monde.
J'ai demandé, mais je connais pas.
Du coup, il me disait que la compétition était dure, hein, et, mais que le niveau d'appel d'offres, il y en avait pas tant que ça au Vietnam. Mais en Asie du Sud-Est, comme à Singapour ou à Bangkok, où on a fait. Bon, l'idée, c'est comment. Bon, aujourd'hui, on est en réflexion de comment maintenir la position.
Mais encore une fois, il y a compétition, c'est un peu dit, mais je veux dire qu'il y a aussi, pour rentrer dans les appels d'offres, il faut aussi savoir, il y a un profil un peu commercial, et etc. C'est pas parce qu'on vient avec un background et un portfolio solide que les appels d'offres s'offrent à nous. Enfin, il y a aussi un peu technique, administratif, suivi, etc. Parfois, une personne ne peut pas effectivement tout faire, surtout l'administratif.
Voilà. Donc ça, c'est pour le partage d'expérience.
Pardon, désolé. On dit souvent qu'il y a vraiment beaucoup d'interculturel avec lorsqu'on fait des affaires avec la Chine. Ce qui est formel, les différentes façons de faire avec le Japon, etc. Est-ce que l'historique, comment dire, des relations France-Vietnam rendent les choses plus faciles pour un Français d'aller au Vietnam? Est-ce qu'il y a des ponts qui ont été faits, des ponts culturels, par exemple? Je pose ces questions totalement candides.
Alors, je ne m'attendais pas à ça. C'est souvent les questions, on se dit, est-ce que l'histoire entre le Vietnam et la France ne facilite pas et ça, pour le coup, je lui dis non. Franchement, les Vietnamiens aujourd'hui, ils sont assez cool, ils ne regardent pas le passé. Après, effectivement, je pense que sur le côté business, les Français ne sont pas perçus comme les meilleurs. Parce que, par exemple, les Américains, ils sont très crash, très vite et très grands. Parce que bien, c'est avec les projets assez impressionnants, on va dire. Les Américains ou même les Allemands, ils sont plus carrés et chouettes de prendre. Alors, les Français, parfois, c'est un peu diplomatie, un peu. Enfin, il n'y a pas
C'est plus long.
C'est plus long et parfois, en sortant de la réunion, parfois j'ai du mal à savoir, bon, mais qu'est-ce que vous voulez? Moi, je pense que moi, j'ai vécu longtemps en France, j'ai partagé entre les deux cultures et moi-même, j'ai du mal à comprendre parfois. Donc, pour les gens qui sont très vietnamiens et encore, les Vietnamiens ils sont très polis aussi. Donc, tous les deux parties, ils disent oui, oui. Après, à la fin, on ne sait pas qui a dit quoi. Donc, aussi, mais voilà. Donc, c'est pour ça qu'il faut, justement, je reviens sur la partie du partenaire local, parce que c'est là qu'on sait où trancher, avec qui discuter. Et même si ça ne se passe pas, ben, au moins, ça ne se passe pas. Et à la limite, c'est la faute de SOA, par exemple, de ne pas conclure l'affaire. Mais parce que parfois, quand on laisse trop les gens rencontrer en direct et pas au bon moment, ça tourne en rond.
J'ai une question toujours pareil sur les affaires. Si on veut le ticket minimum d'entrée, combien il faut en euros, un minimum pour
l'instant, pour ouvrir, il n'y a pas de. Ça dépend si c'est une structure, on va dire, industrielle ou c'est du service. Si c'est du service, vous n'avez besoin de rien. Après, pour ouvrir une entreprise au Vietnam avec tous les frais et tout, je pense que pour bien perçu, voilà, c'est pas à euro en France qu'on peut créer. Mais au Vietnam, je pense que c'est dans les 10 000 $, ça peut être perçu comme comme un projet, on va dire, parce que ça vous permet d'engager des personnels, d'engager des bureaux, etc. Mais encore une fois, c'est juste à titre indicatif. Si c'est moins, on va se dire, ouais, est-ce qu'il est là pour faire du tourisme? Et parce que il y a aussi des cas pour avoir l'extension de visa, par exemple.
Oui, moi, le prix, la somme psychologique que j'avais, c'était 100 000. Nous avions- C'était aussi pour ça que moi, je me suis lancé pas forcément. On m'avait dit d'abord au Canada, les conditions d'accès, pour le coup, à 10 000, j'ai réussi à créer les sociétés, les bases, j'ai mon numéro de taxe, je peux commencer à faire des affaires. Là, on m'avait ralenti sur le Vietnam assez rapidement. On m'avait dit, si tu veux faire des affaires au Vietnam, il faut mettre un ticket de 100 000 d'entrée et trouver un partenaire.
Oui, c'est parce que aussi, il y a, dans votre cas, ce sera aussi la structuration de l'entreprise, du matériel, l'entrepôt, etc. Il y a tout qui rencontre. Alors que quelqu'un qui vient en background IT qui ouvre son cabinet, voilà, il peut travailler de chez eux avec une entreprise virtuelle, ça ne coûte rien. Donc,
Et en termes de sortie de cash de dividendes hors du pays et la convertibilité de la devise.
normalement, il n'y a pas de souci si vous êtes en tant qu'investisseur à 100% étranger. Vous avez le droit de sortir. Mais ce sera plus compliqué si jamais vous avez une associée sur place et que par facilité, parfois pour avoir le process un peu plus facile et plus vite, on peut très bien confier à une personne vietnamienne pour porter les papiers. Et du coup, lui, il est plus majoritaire, etc. Et dans ce cas-là, le partage des différences, etc., pour ressortir de l'argent du pays, c'est plus compliqué. Mais c'est partout pareil, pour faire rentrer, c'est facile.
La devise se vend bien et il n'y a pas de restriction là-dessus.
Non, sauf que l'euro au Vietnam, c'est moins stable que
Les opérations sont faites en dollars.
en dollars.
En dollars.
Oui,
Oui, en fait, si je résume un petit peu, si on veut s'installer, commencer à prospecter, etc., un bureau avec une personne vietnamienne sur place permet de contrôler, faire des démarches et de faciliter la mise en place d'un réseau et de se sécuriser sur place. Et dans un deuxième temps, si on veut s'installer de façon plus concrète avec une structure, avec un déploiement soit de service, soit industriel, le billet est un petit peu plus cher, effectivement, mais il faut procéder par étapes.
Alors, ça dépend vraiment de quel stade de votre développement. Si jamais c'est la première fois que vous venez au pays, que vous voulez avoir une aperçu, les premiers entrées au monde business au Vietnam, peut-être engager une personne sur place pour faire uniquement ce type de travail, ça vous convient. Et sans devoir créer une unité, SOA peuvent vous, c'est un service portage salarial qu'on peut le faire. Oui. Et dans ce cas-là, votre personnel, que ce soit vietnamien ou français, mais dans ce cas-là, je vous préconise que ce soit vietnamienne, vous fasse une étude de marché ou vraiment l'aperçu du monde business au Vietnam. Et une fois que vous voyez que c'est potentiel, il y a des entrées possibles, dans ce cas, vous pouvez commencer à installer votre équipe France vers le Vietnam. Et dans ce cas-là, de créer votre unité avec la personne qui nous a traité, de transférer vers votre entreprise, vers la société.
D'autres questions peut-être, ou réactions, suggestions, commentaires, hein, avant de passer à un petit pot de l'amitié. Et on continuera les échanges.
J'espère que vous avez eu
Et puis vous allez voir l'entreprise
Oui.
de Julien dans une heure, justement.
Faire une visite.
Voilà, à l'Ermitage. Voilà. Donc, ça sera l'occasion de voir une entreprise française. Et
Ça permet aussi pour les partenaires de BPGO
Oui.
de dimensionner les projets.
Et demain, donc c'est le space, donc n'hésitez pas à nous retrouver. Le mieux, c'est de m'envoyer un message texto ou WhatsApp.
pour nous retrouver. Je ne sais pas exactement où on sera, mais bon, on a apparemment des workshops. Il y aura quelques entreprises qu'on ira voir. Et puis, vous repartez ensuite sur Paris, pour ensuite vous envoler à Copenhague, puis en Allemagne,
Oui.
puis revenir au Vietnam. Voilà, donc c'est un gros petit périple.
Bien chargé.
Voilà.
Mais c'est ça aussi. Et je suis très contente de pouvoir commencer avec vous aujourd'hui.
Bah, en tout cas, merci.
La présentation.
Oui, la présentation sera envoyée. Et puis encore une fois, une nouvelle fois, un merci à nos partenaires. Nos partenaires, BPGO, juste ici, Source avec Jacques, Globallians, le SPAS et donc l'entreprise FER MET ALU. Un grand merci. Et puis Julien, vous êtes attendus tous les deux avec Suzanne du journal 7 jours qui va faire une petite interview justement sur les opportunités au Vietnam. Merci beaucoup et bonne journée.
Si jamais vous avez, servez-vous.
Merci.